Next on Worcester News tonight, the man convicted of stabbing a Worcester woman to death is sentenced as the victim's family delivers powerful impact statements. Plus, Tom Brady remains silent on his hand injury. Meanwhile, local businesses are gearing up for Sunday's game. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Anna Botari. Once again, the New England Patriots find themselves just one win away from the Super Bowl. Sunday, the team will play in their NFL record 7th straight AFC Championship game. And while news surrounding Tom Brady's injured hand has some fans in panic mode, others are still confident in the team. Our Cam Jandro spoke with some of those fans tonight and joins us now live. Cam?
Yeah, Anna, at this point, it's really like a broken record. Yet again, the Patriots find themselves in the AFC Championship game, and yet again, they're on the brink of their 10th Super Bowl appearance. Now, the Jacksonville Jaguars are no cakewalk. That defense may cause problems for the Patriots, but fans here in central Massachusetts, they're not worried going into this weekend. A sign of support sits in front of Home Shoes' Flowers in Worcester. Owner Paul Shoes is a big Patriots fan.
This is a very good team, and they're very well coached. Which is the Patriot way of doing things.
But his co-worker Michael Lamb, not so much.
And everybody that knows me knows I'm a Bears fan, and they know I hate the Patriots, but I put reluctantly go Pats.
The two are gearing up for Sunday's AFC and NFC championship games. Lamb, being a lifelong fan of the Chicago Bears, hopes his co-workers' predictions are wrong.
I feel that they'll win, and I think that it'll probably be Minnesota.
I hate Minnesota because they're in my division, and I can't have the Patriots win another one. No.
The Patriots face the Jacksonville Jaguars Sunday for the Lamar Hunt Trophy. Speculation surrounding quarterback Tom Brady's injured hand stole headlines all week. With the game now less than 2 days away, Brady addressed the media Friday.
Hey, Tom, how's your hand?
Not talking about it.
Thumbs up or thumbs down for Sunday?
We'll see.
Meanwhile, fans in central Massachusetts say they're not concerned about the condition of Brady's hand.
Not really. This happens all the time. He's on the injury report all the time. I think it's just a game.
The Jaguars have a good defense, but I'm pretty confident in Tom Brady and the rest of the team to pull off a win.
The Patriots are 7-point favorites ahead of their record 7th straight AFC Championship game. And fans are confident they'll be heading to the franchise's 3rd Super Bowl in 4 years.
And they're playing at home, so I think, they have an advantage there, and so I definitely think they'll win.
28-24.
I'd say 24-7 Pats.
Now the Patriots and Jags kick off at 3 o'clock in the afternoon on Sunday. And Anna, I don't care about Tom Brady's hand. I'm picking the Patriots. And hot take alert, I'm also picking the Eagles. It'll be a Super Bowl 39 rematch. You heard it here first.
All right, I don't know about the Eagles, but Pats all the way. All right, switching gears now. The Vanessa T. Marcotte Foundation hosts a self-defense workshop, Strike for Vanessa, at Girls Inc. of Worcester Friday, giving girls in attendance the chance to get hands-on training. The purpose of the workshop is to not only teach girls self-defense, but also educate to help break down gender stereotypes and also gender biases in society. The foundation is named after Vanessa Marcotte, who was tragically killed by an act of violence while on a run near her family home in 2016. Caroline Tauchi, Vanessa's cousin and co-founder of the foundation, says they want to provide young girls the tools to be safe.
We empower. It's really important for especially young girls to know how to stay safe and be prepared in case something were to happen. Of course, we don't think that self-defense will eradicate violence against women, but we think that it's a start as we work toward a society where there is no objectification and harassment.
Ashley McNiff, Vanessa's friend and co-founder of the foundation, says she believes educating youth will someday in turn change future generations.
We really want to make Vanessa's legacy live on, and she was such an amazing person. She wanted to make a big impact, and we feel that this way not only does she live on, but she continues to make an impact.
The foundation presented a check for $25,000 to Girls Inc. of Worcester for its ongoing work educating girls in self-defense and media literacy activities. This Sunday, another Strike for Vanessa event will be held, where more than 300 women will come together at Boston University, Vanessa's alma mater, to participate. The man convicted in the murder of a Worcester woman in 2015 is sentenced Friday. Cherise Hill's family had a chance to speak about how her death has affected them and how they want her to be remembered. It was an emotional day in the courtroom. Our Brittany Schaefer was there and has the details.
The murder you committed was cowardly, brutal, vicious, and senseless. And I mean every one of those words.
28-year-old Pedro Solis sentenced to life in prison Friday for the murder of Cherise Hill. He'll spend the rest of his life behind bars with no chance for parole.
I can only hope that the trial, now at its close, brings some peace to Miss Hill's mother, her sisters, the rest of her family.
Cherise Hill was stabbed 19 times in December of 2015. Her murder was captured on surveillance video. Hill's family was at the sentencing but did not want to be filmed. Her aunt, sister, and mother were emotional as they took the stand.
She was such a beautiful person, and I miss her. I miss her so much. I don't know how to feel. I'm upset, I'm angry, I'm mad. Cherise didn't deserve this. She was a good person. She helped everybody.
Hill's mother, Priscilla Walker, says Cherise was the best thing that ever happened to her. She addressed her daughter's killer, telling Solis he took away her opportunities in life by killing her for no reason.
Pedro, I don't know what kind of human being that could take another life so viciously and maliciously. I called you by your name, but I feel like you're a monster.
Solis' half-brother also took the stand, speaking of how supportive he was growing up.
He was the best big brother I could ever have. He's always so passionate.
Those words brought more emotion from Hill's sister, who rushed up to the stand in tears.
The only thing your brother had a lot of passion for was killing my sister. He's not dead. My sister is gone. She's literally gone forever. You can talk to him. You can talk to him.
Brittany Schaefer, Worcester News Tonight.
As the budgeting process for fiscal year 2019 begins, the WRTA is concerned they may be level funded once again. The Worcester Regional Transit Authority faced a nearly $1 million shortfall in 2017, forcing them to cut services and raise fares to help balance the budget. But Administrator Jonathan Church says he fears this year's budget may be even worse.
If we don't do something, we're going to need to do either cuts, which we don't want to do, but I'm not saying that we're going to do cuts now, because we're certainly looking at a number of scenarios to see what we can do in terms of doing that, and we'll be bringing those scenarios to the next advisory board meeting in February.
Church says there's a big push for public transportation locally, and he hopes the company doesn't have to make any cuts. All possible scenarios for the future will be brought to the public in March. A veteran educator is named as the next receiver for the Southbridge public school system. This town school has been in state receivership since the Board of Elementary and Secondary Education voted to designate them a Level 5 district, meaning the schools were classified as chronically underperforming.
Says he can help.
Our Rosalind Flaherty has the story.
Schools. The newly appointed receiver of the district is looking forward to the job and calls working with families and students his passion.
While also being involved in an opportunity to really turn things around and to reform how we provide education to kids.
The state took control of the underperforming district in 2016. Villar is a former teacher and superintendent, most recently working for a Connecticut nonprofit focused on reducing the achievement gap between low-income students and their peers.
I believe it's really important that you learn about what's happening before you come in with a prescription of how to fix things. This is something that's already started. I see people putting a lot of effort into this work.
He says consistency of leadership will be a key in moving forward. It's important to Esther Vargas as well. The parent liaison for the school system says she's excited for Villar to show students a great example of a leader.
First time that Latino students in town are going to see somebody of Latino descent in a position of power. For so long, we've never seen anyone.
Villar says he's impressed with the community's support for turning the schools around and says he's ready to get to work.
I want to be able to reflect later on and say you made a difference, that you really made a measurable difference. This is that opportunity.
Rosalind Flaherty, Worcester News Tonight.
A new active threat response plan aims to help Worcester Public Schools faculty and staff in case of an active shooter or similar threat. ALICE for short stands for Alert, Lockdown, Inform, Counter, and Evacuate. Worcester School Safety Director Rob Pizzella says ALICE helps staff make decisions for themselves and students in emergency situations, rather than waiting in place, which is done in the traditional lockdown approach. He says faculty and staff are required to take online and hands-on training courses.
Seconds after they learn of an active shooter, within a minute to 2 to 3 to 4. So ALICE gives these teachers, based on ALICE training, the skill set to make some life and death situations within those few crucial moments.
The district is also supplying Go buckets to about 1,600 classrooms, which include items like rope, door stoppers, duct tape, and first aid kits. 60 members of the Worcester Fire Department finished their O2X performance training Friday. It was all thanks to a $60,000 grant from the Leary Firefighters Foundation and AT&T. The firefighters learned about nutrition, fitness, sleep, and stress management. They learned how to handle health risks of the job and reduce injury. Chief Michael Lavoie says stress is a major obstacle firefighters face.
PTS, or post-traumatic stress, is, I believe it's 66% higher in firefighters than it is in the regular population. We're right up there with the military, basically.
Chief Lavoie hopes to continue the program, putting all members and new recruits through the course. Clark University hosting a series of events honoring the legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. this weekend. The event kicked off Friday with a speech from one of the school's professors, who focused more on the side of Dr. King the public usually doesn't see. Our Chandler Walsh has the story.
Remembering Martin Luther King Jr., Clark University honors his legacy.
I'm hoping that this event is able to provide additional context for the civil rights struggles in America that have led us to where we are currently, but also where we need to continue to go.
Dr. Usman Powergreen kicked off the university's series of events with a talk Friday afternoon. He focused on some perspectives of Dr. King he says aren't as commonly discussed. He hopes the students walk away wanting to learn more.
We have figures like Rosa Parks and King who we feel like we know really well, but actually if we look beyond these moments and they become really famous and popular, we'll realize they're much more complicated figures whose ideas change over time.
It's been more than 50 years since Dr. King helped lead the civil rights movement, and Clark student Geraldine Ariel Pierre says his work will always be important.
He was someone who brought people together to glorify everyone together. So we need to hear about them every single year because they need to continue to inspire generations that come after us every single year.
Dr. Powergreen says it's important to reflect on historical figures like King. He says their teachings are still relevant today.
Despite the fact it was a long time ago and there were gains, clearly we haven't accomplished all of what was set out by King and others in the 60s.
Chandler Walsh, Worcester News Tonight.